Good morning, good evening, or good night whenever you see this video, because we have good news, and good news. Quite happy and enjoyable news. Well, in about, 6 days? I don't know, I'm not even going to look at the date to make sure. In a few days, we have the premiere of Rwby Season 3, Episode 1, and I am ecstatic about it. I am excited, and I am very, very happy. Wonderful news. I get to continue my petty dick measuring competition with a company that's worth millions of dollars. But whatever, it really doesn't matter. There is good news, there's other good news. It is not just the fact that I get to keep my petty dick measuring competition. We have actually two other forms of news that half is petty dick measuring competition, other half is generally good news, I believe. First is first. There have been talk of the Rwby video game. This has been in talk for a while. I made a video laughing about it, but it was more of a comment from someone that was working at Rooster Teeth. It actually had nothing to do with the video game itself. But apparently that thing's on green light, and I am sure that thing is going to be greenlit faster than any other game on that thing, outside of a few very extreme instances. But I'm pretty sure the thing is already greenlit. I don't know. Not voting for it, but I will be buying it. I am generally excited for this video game. The Rwby game, it actually looks incredibly interesting to me because the Rwby anime kind of lends itself to a video game pretty well. In more than ways than one, I just thought about more ways than one, because it's got a really dumb narrative, and that's how video games are going now. Everything's really stupid narratives, but whatever, it don't matter. I'm generally excited for it because I think it'd be a whole lot of fun, except for playing as Blake. I don't see that being fun. I see that being really dumb, but whatever. They can do what they want, but I'm excited for the game. I am genuinely excited for the game, and I'm hoping the game is great. And the funny thing is, there's like two major points to this. It will probably be decent. It can't be as bad as the show. Because the show has two entire things of continuity, 2 entire seasons of continuity that it will continue to ruin. It has 2 entire seasons of continuity that it will ignore, ruin, and or modify somehow for some reason. Whereas the video game is supposed to be like a separate entity all of its own. So even if the narrative is really, really bad, just based on relativity, compared to the show, it has to be better than the show. I mean, theoretically, it could be really, really awful. I mean, theoretically, there is a potential for this to be worse than the show by legions, by leagues. I don't know what word possibly. It could get really, really bad. But I'm assuming that the show. I mean, I'm assuming the story of the game will be simplified and dumbed down enough that it won't be bad. And if the gameplay's any good, the gameplay's any good. So I don't know. But yeah, relatively, and heck, even if the story is really bad, with a video game, if the gameplay is fun enough, you can kind of ignore that. So I don't know, but the game's coming out, and I'm actually really excited for it, and I can't wait to play it. And trust me, I'm an honest reviewer. Well, I guess I can't say trust me, I'm an honest reviewer. That sounds retarded, but whatever. Oops, hit the table. I'm pretty sure that you guys can trust me that if the game was amazing, I would tell you the game is amazing, and that I could recommend buying the game if the game was good. I think you guys can trust me with that. So hopefully the game comes out and I play it and I have a whole lot of fun with it, and I tell you to go buy it. The other bit of good news, an extra added point to the dick measuring competition, is I just read an article today that was gifted to me by my friend, thank you very much, about the fact that Rwby is getting a manga made. Or it's technically a moha, or whatever the Korean equivalent of manga is, but it doesn't matter, it's a graphic novel, that's it. Use your brain, graphic novel, that's it. It's getting a graphic novel, and the hilarious thing of this, and the thing I find so enjoyable about this whole thing, is that the manga artist is just as incompetent as Rwby. And there's even an extra layer to that too, because I can't even remember the name of the guy, but if you find the article, you'll be able to find it. But he made Dogs, and it's like Prelude and Dogs, Bullets and Carnage. Like 2 different kind of series, I think. Maybe Prelude is just a single volume that's a precursor to the manga, the Bullets and Carnage. But I've only read the first volume of Bullets and Carnage. That will be getting a review. Hopefully that'll be getting a review from me sometime in the future, but it's going to be a while. I've got other fish to fry, and technically something I want to point out and say, hey, I do like manga, look how great this is, but whatever. But I read that book, and it was funny. I was scratching my head half the time wondering about stuff. But that's the beauty thing of it. He was literally the perfect choice. He was literally the perfect choice for this manga, and here's why. If you haven't watched my Rwby reviews, I'm sorry, but most of my complaints is there's no context or establishment given. Okay, like, there's not good enough character establishment and good enough establishment of context for characters, settings, locations. My bad. Characters, settings, motivations. Like, there's so much missing from this series. We don't know why anyone's doing anything. We don't know why Vacuo is the way Vacuo is. We don't know why the Olympics is being held in Valve. Yeah, we don't know why Gabe Newland is holding the Olympics this year. Whatever. But, like, whatever the terms is, I don't even know. I don't even care. But we don't know. We just don't understand anything. And there is a lot of crap in Dogs, Bullets for Carnage that it's the exact same thing, where you just don't get any context. You just don't get any establishment. And maybe that's my fault, because maybe Prelude is actually a longer series, and I should have, quote-unquote, read that. But heck, you've got to give us something. You don't know when a reader's going to jump into your series, especially if it's a multi-chunked up series that has multiple different titles that have multiple different volume 1s. Where's a reader supposed to go with that? So when I read volume 1, I expect to be able to, at least by the end of that, grasp some of the characters and stuff. And it's funny. They're so similar. Rooster Teeth, I guess, the Rwby production team, we'll leave it to that. The Rwby production team and whoever this manga artist is kind of are incompetent in the exact same ways. And it was so fundamentally perfect, the way picking those, like, matching those two up. So I'm really excited for that. So if you're not a fan of my manga reviews, maybe you'll get into it and you'll see how I review manga. And if you are a fan of my manga reviews and my Rwby reviews, this is just going to be putting both of those together and rubbing them real well. So there we go. Good news around. Video game coming out, really excited, looking forward to it. Manga coming out, really excited, looking forward to it. And I hope it's as terrible as it's going to be. Because, just the flavor of this is going to be great.